Hello guys, it's your weekly video, and this week we are going to talk about coming out to your mom and dad. I know that a lot of you simply do not want to go and venture out into this area about telling your parents about your sexual lives. Discussing any matter related to sexuality with your parents is always going to be difficult. So while a lot of people, especially gay people, think that it's very difficult to talk about their sexual choices with their parents, the truth is, in a conservative country like India, where sex is rarely talked about, it becomes even more difficult to tell your parents that you may be the odd one out of the flock. But the truth is that we all need to have this chat with our parents. Some of us will go through our lives never ever talking about our sexual choices with our parents. In fact, I believe there are lots of gay men in India, and if not a majority, who go through the whole process of hiding themselves, even getting married to a girl, and then going on with their sexual lives irrespective, and going on to create a family or something like that. But what you do with your own life, to a large extent, is your own choice. But the truth is, if you have a little chat with your parents, you might end up doing something that you want to do instead of what they want to do. All parents want what's the best for their child, and there may be a doubt in your mind that they would never accept you for who you are, but to a large degree, your parents want you to be happy. So if they realize that that you are who you are, and being with a man is what makes you happy, they might relent about the whole arranged marriage thing even. And I'm talking completely in an Indian context or in an Asian context, because the situation in Asia is a little bit different to the West. And while many gay rights people in the West do not have to go through so much parental pressure, I'm sure there's a lot of parental pressure even in the West. There are religious conservatives even in the West, but in India the pressure is more societal. In India, it's a society which embraces the idea of procreation. There are a billion Indians to prove that, actually. So to a large extent, producing children in India is very important for Indian families, and having no hire is kind of something that is completely unacceptable. Now let me tell you something from my own background. I'm here talking to you. I should not appear to preach down if I'm not following what I say myself. I am the only child of my parents, and there are no brothers and sisters. So when I told my mother about my sexuality, it was doubly devastating to her than many of you people would probably not even face the same situation, because I'm not going to have children, and she faced this whole prospect of never becoming a grandmother. But at the same time, she now understands who I am much better. She now loves me for who I am now, instead of who she thought I was, and she embraces who I am in a much more open way, because she knows I live with my boyfriend and she visits us, and it's like a happy time when we are all together. But if you want that to happen in your lives, you need to be honest, not only with your parents but also with yourselves. If you are basically not an honest person, then you cannot come out. And while I'm not calling you dishonest to your face, but what I'm trying to say here is that being honest with yourself is the first part of coming out. So be honest with yourself, tell yourself who you are, accept yourself for who you are, then sit down with mom and dad and have a little chat. You could have it over a cup of tea one afternoon. You could do it over the telephone. You could even send them a card. You could do it over a text message. You could figure out the way you want to tell them. It really doesn't matter, because at the end of all of these things, you're going to end up having to sit with them and have a little talk. And while that talk is unpleasant and it may not go as well as you think it would go, or it may go even better than you thought or anticipated it would go, that's the most important talk of your life. You need to have it. And the fun bit, it just doesn't take as long as you think. After you've had the talk, they will have many questions. Answer them over time, over a period of time, and they will start exploring the topic themselves. If they still force your hand, if they still don't accept you, give them the time they need. You may need to be separate for them for a while for them to fully understand that you're serious about who you are and it's not just a phase. Because for many parents, they think that that's something you will grow out of. So it's natural for them to think that way. Give them the time, and you give yourself the time. But pack your bags if you have to. I always suggest pack your bags. You may have to leave. But you have to be quite on your feet before you sit down and talk with them. Don't have this talk unless or until you're ready, or unless or until you think your parents are ready. More and more people are coming out while they're younger, and I think it's a better idea to come out younger than to come out older if your parents are understanding, because it is good for their health and it's good for your health. Now let me say something here. My mother was suffering from lots of anxiety. She had a complication because she was getting so anxious about my marriage. But after I told her of who I was, she seems to have been at peace with it, and her anxiety has gone away. Her health is actually better. So yeah, I mean, it's good if your parents always know the truth. So in a way, coming out for you, and I've done other videos on this topic. One of those videos is posted in the description below. I'm also going to put an annotation over there, so if you click on it you can go and watch that video. But I've talked about this topic before. I'm talking about this topic in relation with your parents again, because this is very, very important, especially in India, because gay people are just not visible, and being invisible makes them powerless. It makes them not achieve their full potential. I want you guys to have power. I want you guys to be able to be proud of who you are, and moreover, I want you to be able to secure your rights, politically, economically, socially, every way. But that's all I have to say for this week. See you guys next week. Take care. Bye.